I want to read from the book of Nehemiah. I actually started this last night, and it's just be so. I'm always amazed at how, no matter how many times you read the Bible or read the different books of the Bible, like how you just run into so many gems. And this book of Nehemiah, um, it was just very interesting, to see like how he spoke favor over his life, like how he was such a good manager, and that's what really stood out for me. Um, and it was just interesting. Um, I wanted to read a verse from there that I took from it last night. So Nehemiah 2:8 says, "And please give me a letter addressed in Asaph, the manager of the king's forest, instructing him to give me timber. I will need it to make beams for the gates of the temple fortress, for the city walls, and for a house for myself." And the king granted these requests because the gracious hand of God was on me. And today, I'm just grateful for God's love. I'm grateful for the gracious hand of God, and just grateful for my family, and grateful for everything. You know, um, this what I loved about this verse was, and I know anyone who knows me know what it was. It's the end part what stood out, right? Because Nehemiah okay, first of all, in context, the king who he was speaking to was Artaxerxes, who was the Persian king, right? Who was like known to be like this, this conqueror, like this big sort of vicious guy. And Nehemiah had asked him to move back to Jerusalem because like his people was like, like their city was crumbling, like they just wasn't living good. They was being overtaxed, you know what I mean? And nobody had the courage to basically ask this king for anything, you know. But Nehemiah, recognizing the fact that he had the hand of God on him, went and asked him, and God granted him, what he really desired. And when he went into the city, he faced so many different minor trials and tribulations, mostly from his own people hurting his own people, but then others trying to hurt him as well, and all throughout the book of Nehemiah, he talks about the hand of God being on his life, the hand of God, like in almost everything that happens, he says that, okay, this won't happen because the hand of God is on my life. And this will happen because the hand of God is on my life. And that it just reminded me how important it is for us to speak that over ourselves and speak that over our lives. Like whenever good things happen to us, we have to remind ourselves that, the reason that these good things happen to us, we aren't lucky, it's because we have the gracious hand of God over our life, you know when we shielded from bad things, you know what I mean? We need to remind ourselves as well too that again, we're not lucky, you know. This is the gracious hand of God that has been placed over our life. And it's just something that I'm truly grateful for, that God has laid his hands on all of us, and that we've been given the opportunity every day to praise him and just show him, that he did not make a bad decision by resting his hand over each and every one of our lives. So I continue to pray every day for every single person who's here, every single person that listens, that you may have the gracious hand of God touched over your life. And just keep reminding yourself that. Just keep reminding yourself that you're not lucky. You have the gracious hand of God over your life. I'm Kerry and I relinquish my mic.